I've been making videos for a long time and I have never shown this side of my collection. Today's the day. Let's show it. But before we get into that video, tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, going live on YouTube, going through Z&G Emporium's weekly auction, probably some PWCC, just looking at different sales, things that are selling. It's going to be a good time. Stop on by. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. So, those of you that do not know, I have been collecting Yu-Gi-Oh! Probably for the last 2-3 years again. Way back in the day, I played it competitively, went to a few Show and Jump championships, a couple YCSs. Absolutely freaking love playing the game, watching the original anime. Phenomenal. So, I got back into it, and it went deep. It went pretty deep, but I didn't go super deep. Still collecting it today. Not so much selling Yu-Gi-Oh! Much. If I do, it's because I buy a collection and I grade some 10s. Most of my stuff, I sell the 10s for Yu-Gi-Oh! And I keep the 9s. That's usually just the way I do it. 9s are super dog cheap. Like, I'll show you some of the stuff I got, and I'll be saying some of the prices just so to give you an idea how cheap some of this crap is, and it's freaking awesome. So without further ado, let's go check out my Yu-Gi-Oh! Collection. It would not be a Yu-Gi-Oh! Collection unless I had some raw cards, of course. So when I first got back into it, I went ahead and made a deck that I had back in the day just to have it on my desk to shuffle. I literally just, sometimes in meetings, I'm just sitting here shuffling, drawing hands. It just is a good feeling. I got these old beat up sleeves. It just takes me back, dude. So these are matte Ultra Pro sleeves. I'm just going to show you. So I went with like old school rarities on these. Treeborn Frog, Jinzo. I actually got another one of these. I'll show you that I plan on cracking for this deck. Stratos, just to show you the raw side of it. This is a Hobby League. The Cheater Sangin, those of you that know. This was some of the first cards I bought. 3 first edition Ultimate Rare Rises. Absolutely love this freaking card. Destiny Hero Malicious. This one's got like one of these has like a weird, yeah, this one. The M's like cut off. Card Troopers. Just a super fun deck, dude. I just did not get enough playing with this deck. Destiny Draws. I need Ulti Brain Controls. Those are expensive as hell. Yeah. So just did like original rarity stuff. It was really fun putting this together. Absolutely takes me back. First part of the collection, and I'm going to continue with a raw before I get into the slabs. Of course, you got to have a Yu-Gi-Oh! Binder. You know what I mean? Like, you can't not have a Yu-Gi-Oh! Binder. So, this is my masterpiece. This is what I take when I go to, like, Friday night GOAT tournaments, first edition BLS, Ultimate Rares. These are tournament pack cards, Royal Decree, Toon Cannon Soldier, the Ultra Rares, Needleworm. All 3 of these were PSA 9s. Cracked them. They got damaged. Exceptional. Big rip. More Ultimate Rares. Just like a first page is like mostly Ultimate Rares. First edition Yada. First edition Vampire Lord. I know at least 1 or 2 of these are like the original Gate Guardians, but not... just some trade stuff. Some more Ultimate Rares that aren't great. Chaos Emperor Dragons. Just an old school era binder. Except for these. These are probably the newest cards in here. But I love frickin' Rescue Rabbit. I want it in a PSA 10. It'd be super sick. Just basically trade stuff where the people that I go... Like, I don't play modern tournaments. So I don't get a kick out of trading modern cards. And I don't really have any modern cards. So... I go with binders like this so people know what I have and I know the values of these cards. A couple of first edition breakers right there. Fiber Jars out the Yin Yang. Dark Magician Girls. Tyrant Dragon First Ed. This is just... I don't go to enough tournaments, so I barely make my way through trading these. But these aren't really just going down in value. They're kind of just, people collect most of this stuff because it's used in modern day decks. So it's really fun to trade this stuff. A lot of deck material for Edison and GOAT format. Bazoo, Tribe. Spear Dragon is one of my favorite cards. Top 5 Yu-Gi-Oh! Of all time. As you can see. Getting to some vanilla. So this is basically just monsters, spells, and traps in that order. Some Blue Eyes, a couple of OGs. I love Luster Dragon too. Man, I'm a sucker for some good beat sticks. I am a sucker. Love this freaking card too. I'd love to get that in a PSA 10. Pot of Duality. That's a sexy beast. Some really bad ultimate rares. This Change of Heart's dope. The brand new one. Delinquent Duo, first edition. Looking nice. Enemy Controller. Such a cool card. Video game controller card. You can't beat it. Some more really bad ultimate rares. I love this freaking Soul Release. The band art one. Some cool stuff. I thoroughly enjoy just looking through this stuff. Takes me back, man. It takes me way back. Cool. Some vintage stickers. I thought these were really cool. Moving on. Just to give you an idea of like, these are like literally the roughly six Yu-Gi-Oh cards I'm selling. So this is a 2023 tour guide, English quarter century rare. Listed, I get offers every day at like $90. I think this card's like $20 at TCG Player. Every day I'm getting $90 offers, but I'm trying not to sell it with that. Maybe just above it. End of Anubis, I just graded this in a 10. If it was a 9, I probably would have kept it, but 10's going out the door. This I bought in an auction for like $450. So I thought that was cheap as hell. I will keep this at that price, but I do have it listed for sale because it is a 10. I do have a 9 already in my PC, which you'll see later. Skilled Dark Magician, I would have kept it if it was a 9, but it's going out the dough. Blue Eyes Ultimate. I bought this off PWCC for like $70. This card in a PSA 10, I want to say, still sells for over $500. Injection Fairy Lily, 9.5. I think a PSA 10. I don't even know where it's at right now. I'm guessing $1,500. I'm not sure. So SGC 9.5. Obviously, it's not ideal, but it's for sale. Listed well below a PSA 10, I believe. So that's kind of just an idea of what I got for sale. Link down below in the description. Now, I kind of lied. I do have some 10s in the PC. Mirror Force is my favorite card, I think, of all time. This card is just so iconic. It literally just, it destroys. When this card came out, it was so cool. It's just such a beautiful freaking card. And then I had to get the Japanese one. Shout out to Pokemon Steven for selling me this. He had made a YouTube video that he didn't think many people would watch, but I watched it. He got this card. I want to say it was like a pop. It was low pop. Pop 1? I don't even know. It might not have been pop 1, but it was low pop. This isn't the first printing of Mirror Force in Japan. There is like a secret one and an ultra parallel one, which I would like to get as well, but Mirror Force is a banger. This was one of the first Yu-Gi-Oh cards I purchased. Love this freaking card. Let's get into the slab, shall we? You know what I should have did is probably put these in an order. But I didn't. So, just to give you an idea of what I'm looking at. So, I bought this again off PWCC to go in a deck. This went for like $35 or something like that. A first edition Jinzo in a PSA 4. Yeah, it's obviously it's nothing, but it just, nobody saw it or cared because it was a 4. But give me that for my deck all day. All effing day, brother. Shout out to the first ever printing of the Exodia pieces. These are pretty damn cheap. This is a PSA 9. There, I believe, is a few PSA 10s. I can't remember. I know there is, but there's not many. I want to say single digits. So, first ever printing. It doesn't have the Eye of Anubis down there. which you'll see consistent with all of these. They're not the same grade because they are pretty expensive as 9s and 10s. But not too expensive. When I say pretty expensive, this probably cost me like $100. The first ever printing of Exodia. And they didn't all come in the same set, which is extremely awkward. They came in 5 different sets. Volume 4. DDS. Like, just absurd. Now, these are the first ever printed Yu-Gi-Oh cards. These is Yu-Gi-Oh's Bandai. As you can see from the back, it's way different. This is a PSA 10 Aphrodite from the first generation. So there's 3 generations. First generation came out first, but it's a 118 card set, basically. This is a Harpy Lady. So I do have some 10s. Not many, though. Like, the 10s are, like, really few and far between. Tiger X. Exodia piece. So I had to get this. This was cool just because it was technically the first ever printed Exodia piece. This is not Konami. This is not a Konami branded card. It's Bandai. So Bandai, the first generation came out first. The third generation did come out, I believe, like around the starter box time. I'm not positive. I'm not super up on OCG. I'm enough to be dangerous, but Celtic Guardian. So the first ever printings of these cards are super cool to me. Even though it's not Konami, it is just, I don't know, there's something about the first printing of these, and they're super effing cheap. Like, you can get a light played complete 118 card set probably for under $300 of the first ever printed Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It's absurd. Now, good condition, that's kind of rough. Shout out to Jake Smith. I believe I had purchased this off of him at one of the recent Collecticons. Polymerization. I think I got 2 of these. I think I just saw I have 2 of these. Just continuing with the OCG. I do have a lot of English. This is the first printing of this Blue Eyes, I believe. Starter box. I know Jump Fest is expensive. I don't think it was the first printing of it with this art. So this is starter box. There's no Eye of Anubis in the bottom right. Pikachu, I believe, has a PSA 8 or a 9. Very cool that he graded that himself. I got this for like, this was like $60. $60. This is like, for me, this is like a first edition Charizard, but for Yu-Gi-Oh! I value the starter box Blue Eyes similar. Like, it's so cool. Goyo Guardian Dual Terminal PSA 9. Awesome card. I remember this when the dual terminals came out. This card was popping. So dope. I got this for super cheap again on PWCC. It was like dummy low, like $40. I'm like, whoa. Could not pass that up. On to the continuation stack. Freed the Brave Wanderer. Why the hell does he have a Freed the Brave Wanderer? Let me tell you. I absolutely love Legacy of Darkness. It is my greatest past. It is my favorite set of all time. I've opened 1 vintage box of Yu-Gi-Oh! From scratch here in my channel, and it was Legacy of Darkness. Absolutely love this. Most nostalgia. I ripped the most of these packs back in the day. They were giving these packs out as prize cards when I played at my local. So the whole set is a goal. Goblin Attack Force PSA 9. First edition. PSA 10 Sinister Serpent. Original LOB Right Leg of the Forbidden One, I believe. I'm not super good. I don't check all the variants. I know PSA is really bad at knowing the variants, or they used to be. But I believe like a 5.9 cert, I think they got it right. So this was probably printed around 2002. This card, when I bought this, it was so cheap. This was probably like $20. It was crazy. One of my L's. Berserk Gorilla in a 9. Top 5 favorite card. Another top 5. You're seeing all the fire. You're all the fire. I got like 20 cards in my top 5. So bear with me. Slate Warrior. Now wait. Slate Warrior. Wait. Slate Warrior. World Championship 2004 is the video game that this came out in. Absolute. Spent my entire life inside of that game. Crush Card Virus. I believe this is still a Pop 1. Gold Series Korean Crush Card Virus. Printed also, it says, in 2009. Crazy to me that this is still possibly Pop 1. Let me confirm right now. So I am correct. This card is still a Pop 1. There is only 3 graded, but it did come out in 2009. It all checks out to be about the same year as it came out in the U.S. Absolutely loved this card. I spent $200 on the English one when it came out. $200. Cyber Dragon 9. That's dark. Not great. That's probably like $15. Whereas the pack to open this, probably like $100. Vampire Lord, there's my 9 for the PC. Fiend Skull Dragon, 9. Legacy of Darkness. Victory Dragon Pristine 10 from CGC, baby. I'm a sucker for a Pristine 10. Which is why this isn't listed for sale. I'm just a sucker for them. And I'm a sucker for this one. The printing of this set, Rise of Destiny, is dog shit. So me being able to get a Pristine 10 feels great. And a Fairy King Truesdale, not hard. Feel like those all are Pristine 10s. Ultra Rare Gatling Dragon in a 10. King Dragoon. Awesome card, Flaming Eternity. And this is the Ultra Parallel Rare Summon Skull. Super sick. 2000. Came out in the year 2000. Revival of the Black Demon's Dragon. Let's move this to the side. Continue my stack. Now this is something you don't see every day. A perfect 10. Elemental Hero Wild Heart, and it doesn't have the secret pattern. It's kind of the error one. I don't know if... I know it's not super... It's not rare. But it's a freaking perfect 10. This is my only perfect 10 Yu-Gi-Oh card, which is pretty cool. Speaking of perfect... Oh, I love this freaking card. So I was fortunate enough... I forget who I bought the packs from off Instagram. I bought like 6 unweighed packs, and I pulled this, and I pulled this. That was absolutely insane. Being able to pull both of these cards in like 5 random unweighed packs purchased off of Instagram, I couldn't have asked for more, to be honest. Forceful Sentry, this card is absolutely busted. The dude is super chunk. Cyber Twin Dragon PSA 10 to go with the other twin girls. Continuation of my LOB Unlimited set. These are worth absolutely probably not much. PSA 9s. I'm guessing $40, $50. This card's still about $100. The Crush Card Virus Gold Series 1 English. I had to get this. I had searched so hard for a mint one. So effing hard. It is such a pain in the loving balls to get this card minty, bro. I looked so long. By long, I mean like a week. I gave up. I bought this off TCG Player. That's absurd. Getting a 10 on a TCG Player Yu-Gi-Oh card was nuts. Chimera Tech Overdragon. Awesome card. In a PSA or CDC 10. PSA 10. I got way too many Cyber Ends and Cyber Dragons and way too many, bro. Way too many. I had bought these before I got those packs. I was like, yeah, I'm good. And I got those packs and then I pulled more. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Cybernetic Revolution is my second favorite set of all time. Easily my second favorite set. So let's continue. What do we got? Ooh, more Slate Warrior. CGC 10 though, bro. Stratos. from the Shonen Jump magazine. Such nostalgia for when this card came out of that magazine. I was going to Kroger's. I was searching for them boys. Continuation of my Legacy of Darkness PSA 9 set, because PSA 9s are easy as F to get for Legacy of Darkness. Because all of them are OC. It's super brutal. This card is signed by Eric Kaiba Stewart. Crush Card Virus, Korean. Pretty lame, not going to lie. Another LOB Unlimited. Super out of order. Super out of order. Limiter removal, 9. That LOD set is nearly complete. Needle effing Worm. This is Tournament Pack 5 super rare, so not worth a ton. Probably $75. PSA 9 Diffusion Wave Motion. This card is absolute trash, but it's beautiful. Moving on. What do we got? We got a decent stack left. And I got a whole shoebox full of Legend of Blue Eyes first edition cards. I got boxes of just like first edition, like I got starter deck Yugi first edition, just commons and tournament pack commons and all this, tons of stuff, dude. I just won't go through that. I'm going to probably end it after I go through the slabs. Last Churn, continuation of Legacy of Darkness, another LOB Unlimited Exodia piece. These cards I purchased from one of the Collecticons. The dude had Yu-Gi-Oh! And didn't know prices at all. So I picked up these two and a couple other cards for like $120. That was pretty cool. That was a pretty good deal. And the other two were like an Ultimate Rare and something else. Horus the Black Flame Dragon, level 6. Super effing random OCG card. Just the freaking ultimate rares on these are so sexy. Couldn't pass it up. I love the Horus series. I love playing Level Up. The card is so bad. I had to get this in ultimate rare because I can't afford it in English, even in a 9. So I had to go with the Japanese one, which is like 1/30th of the fucking price. So give me the original printing of it for 1/30th of the price. Thank you. Last Turn, Legacy of Darkness. Another trash promo from a video game, but it's a 9, so I kept it. Because if I sold that, it's probably going to sell for like $1. Red Eyes Black Dragon from LOB. Marauding Captain, 9 from Legacy of Darkness. I got to be close to finishing that set. Similarly, LOB, like the Unlimited set, I feel like I'm close to finishing that set, which would be cool. Acid Trap Hole. Some dusted promos. More dusted promos. And a 10 Delinquent Duo. Sexy. First edition Delinquent Duo. Let's continue. So, now that you're seeing this collection, what do you think? It is just some random... There is some random stuff in here, I tell you. Card Trooper. I've been trying to get this card in a 10 like a son of a bitch. Swear to God. This one might have been my PSA 9 one. I believe this was a PSA 9, and I sent it in. If not this one, there was maybe another one. I'll have to look. I thought this was the same case, actually. I think this was a PSA 9, so feels bad. Feels bad. But Spear Dragon, I'm not going to sell that for $1. I'd rather just keep it. Same as that Spear Dragon. This is a Starter Deck Joey, first edition Red Eyes. Super clean. CGC slabs, baby. This was a PSA 9. I was extremely, extremely disappointed this didn't at least bump to a 9.5. This card is so effing clean. It has a little bit of an indent, and it's not even that bad. This card is minty, bro. They're pop controlling the shit out of this. Like, this should be a PSA 10. I need to resubmit it, I think. I think we're going to get there. I think it would be a pop 1. I don't know if there's another one. But this card is so nice. Like, that is like the least amount of I've seen. Come on, dude. That might be going back to PSA. This card pisses me off too. This card also gem mint. It's just like a shifted cut. You can see it's off left to right on the top, and then it's slightly the opposite on the bottom. But it is not that far off. It's gotten a 9 at PSA and then CGC. This was a PSA 9 as well. Big Sad. Just crossed the same grade. Starter deck Blue Eyes. Looks like foil bleed, yep. Kind of see through, it's bleeding through there. SGC 9, just every grading company, you know. Salamandra and Dark Ruler Hades from Legacy of Darkness. We're coming down to like the last beautiful stack here. Oh, baby. I forgot about Envision of Chaos, dude. I love these freaking cards. This dragon is such a freaking boss, dude. Speaking of dragon, there's this movie I just watched on Netflix called Damsel with Millie Bobby Brown. 10 out of 10, do recommend. If you're looking for a cool dragon movie, I'm telling you, bro. I haven't watched a good dragon movie since Reign of Fire. And that, I tell you what, that mother effer came out like freaking 20 years ago. I swear to God. So, if you want a dragon movie, go check that out. Morphing Jar PSA 9. This is Tournament Pack 2. This is probably about $5. Needleworm PSA 9. Tournament Pack 3. Probably another about $5. Luminous Soldier. 10. Less than those two. Mechanical Chaser. This was a PSA 9. Crossed it, and it got a CGC 8. This is also like $1. This was a PSA 9. Crossed it, and got completely fisted again. This was a PSA 9. Crossed it, and got the same grade. Not mad. So my goal, all of these were PSA 9s. I had the entire PSA 9 set. 10, 8, 8, 5, 9. Well done. I should have just kept it as a 9. 9 set. That was a massive L. Serpent Knight Dragon. Unlimited. Magic Cylinder. Love this freaking card. It's my best friend's favorite card. One of his favorite cards. Shout out to Tim Thomas. Is probably going to him. Penguin Soldier. Absolute gas. First edition starter deck Joey Penguin Soldier and Scapegoats. Those should have been 10s. You're effing smoking meth. Tell me. There's like scuffs. There's more scuffs on the plastic. Like, cards are so clean. I get wrecked with Yu-Gi-Oh, bro, at PSA. It's not even funny. CGC 10. Berserk Gorilla. This is an absolute grail. One of my, definitely another top 5 card. He is one of my emojis for my YouTube channel. This card is Pop 0, PSA 10, Pop 1, CGC 10. Yada Garasu. When they made this card, I was super excited. Super excited. Had to go get this thing. Such a sexy card. Speaking of Yada Garasu, got a couple more. I pulled one of these from a pack. It got a PSA 9, and then, of course, it downgraded. Why not? One of these is like a filthy... You can see, like, the foil bleed. So nasty. One of my favorite cards of all time. Super busted. Anyways, that's going to wrap up the Yu-Gi-Oh! Collection video. I do hope you enjoyed it. I do have some... These are empty. These are empty boxes. So these, the Flaming Eternity, the Pharaonic Guardian, and the Magician's Force I purchased off of eBay a long time ago. And they were being sold as open boxes. I opened the boxes and it had all the cards inside. The Dark Magician Girl was actually still in here. I feel like somebody ripped it trying to get a Breaker the Magical Warrior, and it was back in the day. They stuffed everything back in the sleeves, and they just sold the box. I literally bought this box for like $90. Got the Dark Magician Girl. It graded like an SGC 9.5. And then I converted it into a CGC 10. Sold it for like $900 just recently through Catch 'em All Collectibles consignment service. Do recommend. So that was freaking nutty. All of these had all the hollows. It was insane. So that was one of the epic journeys of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I've graded some awesome cards recently. Like, again, I don't have a lot of 10s because I sell the 10s. I've graded some awesome 10s. Morphing Jar, Tournament Pack 1 or 2, Blue Eyes, Toon Dragon, PSA 10. Just, there has been some sick cards passed through my hands that I've graded in 10s. But they're just, I'm trying to PC a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff, and 9s are just so cheap. Vintage first edition 9s are basically the raw price, basically, which, give me that all day. There's really bad 9s out there, of course, but I do love this. I love the Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff. I'm hoping to get this 9 set completed again soon. This is one of my favorite arts. Needleworm is such a sexy card, so I appreciate you guys checking out the video. Stop by the live stream tonight. I'm going to appreciate it. So, talk to y'all soon. Have a good one. Peace.